Good morning, Sean here, and it is time for our Revelstoke Mayor Report with Mayor Gary Sells. Good morning, Gary.
Good morning, Sean.
I have a couple questions here for you. Do you want me to dive right into them, and then we can touch base?
Let's dive right in.
Okay.
You bet.
So, your first question is that larger cities are working and running out of money. Is Revelstoke in fear of running short of funds with all city facilities shut down, and what is the expenses versus revenue situation?
Okay, so the finance department are definitely, we're anticipating that sort of scenario. So we put in a revenue anticipation bylaw back probably a month ago so that we can borrow up to 3/4 of our annual property tax roll. And so that's in place. There may be some shortage of money as we go along as far as income coming in. We've been able to delay some of the payments going out according to what the provincial government is allowing. So we feel that we're in good shape, that we won't be as the larger cities running out of money, and that we basically have taken care of that issue. So the staff are putting together, reports as far as income versus expenditures. There's still some expenditures that go on, even though we're not having the income come in because we need to maintain our facilities and that sort of thing. But I think we've got a pretty good handle on it, and we'll see things as we move along and be able to report out exactly where we're at.
So we're not going to see an extra increase in our taxes this year to offset any of that.
No.
But we're all willing to do it, Gary.
There we go. Thanks, Sean. Appreciate that.
I speak for everybody. We all hire taxes.
There we go. Yeah, I would be careful. Put your bucket on your head as you walk downtown.
Yeah. Okay, so no increases in our part, and it's being mitigated.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, the other question was, usually they shut down the Aquatic Center in September to clean the bathhouse, so to speak. With it being shut down right now, do you know if it's being cleaned? Is there anything being done that otherwise we would do later?
No, we actually want to deal with that now while we're closed up. So staff are getting prepared to go in and do the work that needs to be done so that we hopefully don't need to do anything further come September during the usual closing. So we want to get that all mitigated and make sure that we're up and running by the time we're allowed to open.
I would imagine that the Swiffer sweepers that are out on the roads right now cleaning up all the gravel on the side are probably getting done in record time without as many people and cars on the road.
I think you're probably right. It's amazing how quick they're able to get through things, and it's really nice to see that some of that dust is being mitigated and things are cleaned up. And with all the snow that we had this past year, looks like we had extra gravel on the road. So it's nice that it's being taken care of at this point.
Now, the one question I forgot to ask you about the roundabout last week was there a time frame for when that Eagle Rock, which sounds like a Stephen King town, that they were going to start building the roundabout?
They're going to hopefully get on it as quickly as possible. So I'm hoping in the next couple of weeks we're actually going to see something happening. Engineering will have a better timeline than I, but in the comments made when we awarded the contract was let's get on it as soon as we can. So they're just ironing out the last little details, and hopefully we'll see that happening in the next few weeks.
Okay, so we might see some of those old rail tiles being ripped up in May.
Yep, that's what we're hoping.
All right, hashtag Townley Roundly.
There we go.
Is there anything that's coming out of City Hall you wanted to touch base on? Staff coming back to work, or where are we at with that?
Yeah, staff are going to come back in increments. It'll be a couple this week, or 4 or 5, and then next week as well. And I'm talking now more about the outdoor employees, so that we're able to bring them back safely and in a way that's going to work. We want to get them into the park so that they can start cleaning up the parks, so that when we're able to get the parks maintained and ready, then we may be able to start reopening some of those venues. So they're coming back over the next few weeks, and I hope by either beginning of May or mid-May that we'll have everybody back up and getting things done, getting into the gardens, fixing those things, and going forward. So we're working on that. People are concerned about filling potholes, that sort of thing. Unfortunately, there's no asphalt plants open at this present time, so it's not like we can get in and start ripping up pavement and fixing these potholes, that sort of thing. So we're hoping that we can get on that as quickly as possible, but we are having to wait for those venues to be open.
Oh, Asphalt Plants are closed, too.
Yep, right at the moment.
I would have thought roads would have been essential.
Well, I think they are, but, getting in because we're a little later as far as our area and warming up and making sure that we can get in and do the work. And I can't comment on Asphalt Plants, why they're open or not open at this point. But I think everybody's gearing up to go back to work, and that will be work for everyone here. So that's kind of where we're at. The other thing I wanted to bring up as well is yesterday in our council meeting, we now have set where we're going back to regular council meetings starting in mid-May so that people can plan for business as usual rather than just special council meetings. So just want people to be aware of that.
I just wanted to quickly touch base on this mid-May question mark that Bonnie Henry put out there. This doesn't necessarily mean that we're going to have life back to normal in mid-May.
No, life back to normal will never be the way it ever was again until there's a vaccine. And she's made that very clear. So when we start talking about mid-May and reopening, so she'll make a statement as to which venues or which type of business she feels that have been closed will be able to open and in what capacity. And there'll be parameters based on her best guess as far as keeping everyone safe. And we'll just have to go with what they're telling us.
Okay, sounds good. If there's anything that you want to ask Gary, let me know. We can chat with him on Fridays. Gary, stay safe, and we'll talk to you soon.
Please stay safe, and remember, be kind.
All right. Thanks, Gary.
All right, Sean, thanks.